Thanks for tuning in. Yes, yes. The Double RT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show. As you can see, the post fight reaction of Joshua Greer and Shakur Stevenson. Just a kid from Newark. So, yes, as you can see, you know, I will rock the Shakur Stevenson bus to the engine drops, just for so. Now, as far as the card itself, I was highly looking forward to this card. To be honest, I caught it when I caught it, but I was really excited about this. Obviously, you saw why I'm excited for Shakur Stevenson, but Joshua Greer. If you've been following the Double RT Boxing Show, you get the idea that as the show was created and grown, I discovered Josh Greer and became a fan of him. It's not like he's been on the scene hot for a long time, but the show has followed him right around his hot growth, right around there. The show followed him, and the reason why not only is he eyeball appealing and entertaining, he is our state's answer. If there's anyone to beat Anui, the front runner was Josh Greer Jr. for the states, as a bantamweight. So you want to be interested in what he's doing. And this fight against who did he fight? I'll just do a blank right here. Who did he just fight? Who put a challenge? I had him losing the fight 115-113. I just cannot. Damn, who did Josh Greer fight? But I had Greer winning like the last 3 rounds, but he was Patov. And no wonder I couldn't remember his name. Obviously, that dude was making his stateside debut, I believe. God, where's he at? What division was it? That name just popped in my head at the last minute. It went for fucking. Where is he at? Josh Greer. Where the fuck's that division at? Okay, he fought. What's Potpiov's name? Potpiov. Nikolai. Potapov. Now, when Potapov was attacked to the body, like the commentary team said, who's not a different fighter when they get attacked to the body, but clearly night and day, Nikolai wasn't a fighter who's really poker facing his damage or poker body his damage. When you was hitting him to the body, he was a different fighter. His offense dropped down, his body demeanors changed. But when he got through that and he was able to press Greer back, he was a different fighter once that distance was on. They were on point by saying that. But in this fight, you saw what you always saw in Josh Greer. As a fan, as a regular boxing junkie watcher that you are right here on the WRT Boxing Show, you saw how he believed in his power too much. And as I said, if you've been following the WRT Boxing Show, we are on season 4. If you've been following it and Josh Greer's segments, you know that's what we always talked about as a flaw of following. Like, I hope he improves this. I hope he improves that. He gets a little in that stage where he starts smelling his own piss, believing in his own power. He gets real cocky, and he stand there too much and get hit. And then he just start trying to be too aggressive, too powerful, trying to put on the show too much. And what were they saying? 17 fight winning streak, 7 fight knockout. He started believing it. He started believing in it because the attention was there. He was, getting the hype, riding that wave, and and he looked like he started becoming Night Night instead of Josh Greer Jr. You know what I mean? You know who I could best compare this to, and it didn't happen to Josh Greer Jr. But Isaac Dogbe. You know, he seemed like a beast. He won his championship, talking shit. He won it, and then that whole Naho, Naho, it got real popular. ESPN caught it. They were selling it. You know, I don't know how it was viewed around the world, but ESPN was just like running that Naho, Naho. You know, every time they talked, they're just like really pumping that. It seemed like the day of the fight, fucking. That's all he was saying cause of how it got him popular, and he started being that character and not Dog Bay the fighter. You know, it was always that whole week of the fight was about no. It didn't seem right. But anyway, that character getting caught up like that, it seemed like Josh Greer got caught up in the night shit, Mr. ESPN. Now he won. See if like I said, I had him losing 115, 113, winning the last three, but he was getting dominated because it was no jab. He, like I said, he just kept coming in for power shots. And when he did attack Nikolai Body, the fight was totally different. Josh Greer could have his way with him. Not his way, but compared to how he was being frustrated with no jabbing himself in, Nikolai kept that distance, jabbing one to him. Every time he'd come in, he'd just throw him hit him with the right. Got a few good body shots on him, but he mainly just kept that distance, you know, and one to him, you know. But like I said, if you follow the show and the growth of Josh Greer, that was the one. And to me, it caught up to him. It caught up to him. He got plugged a lot, picked off, because he gets a little too aggressive. He gets believing in his own power, and we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, uh, he how did he win? Maybe like I said, 150. Well, I'm trying to think what were the scorecards. It was 115, 113. I know one scorecard. I think the biggest one was like 116, 112. I think, and to see it that favorable for Josh Greer was pretty hard for me. I maybe 115, 113. Maybe you saw Josh Greer being more aggressive and didn't see Nikolai back foot picking him off. Maybe you just saw the aggression, you know. That's 115, 113. But as far as 116, 112, I can't see. But hey, everyone has a bad night. So like I said, as a fan and as a American boxing, he's our answer to the I guess well, I don't want to say a new because the Tetsi is out there as well, you know. So I guess the WBSS winner. Like I said, I wish he could have got in over who was that replacement? Steve Young, I think Steven Young. That would have been so awesome to see Josh Greer get that American spot. That would have been awesome. That would have been real fucking awesome. Because over here in the stateside, like I said, just as you know, you have your boxing fan, and then of course you gotta have hey, root for your country, right? We don't like I said. I root for Luis Neri, but technically, you know, he's not an American, but he's over here. But you guys know what I mean. Um, Carlos Cuadras, Jason Maloney, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Payano, Rashu Warren. I root for him, but he's not one of my favorites. I don't like his style. He seems to not do enough. You know. Uh, Pachor Shipapani. I forgot who that really is. I forgot that. Is that CP Freshmark? I'm not too sure. Paul Butler, Joshua Franco. I need to see his face. Damari, I don't know. Kohari, I don't know. Josh Greer down at 13. I'm only reading the WBC. Oscar Naretti, Lola Barrio Solis. Nope. So like I said, I got two American choices. One I really don't like rooting for because I don't like it. I don't like what he brings to the ring. I don't like his effort. And then you got Josh Greer. So we'll see if he gets. Like I said, he just needs to jab himself in more, and maybe. Like I said, he throws all his punches at the same fucking speed. Like Andre Ward pointed that out. I was like, he, that's more example of him buying into that the entertainment side. He needs to go back to slow it down and set it up. Like now he's just a slow starter looking for power shots. You know, in season one of the WRT boxing show, season two, he at least jabbed himself in, broke you down, and then start fucking you up with the body. Last night he just was just going no body attack, no breaking down, and then when he started doing the body attack, it was a different fight. Then he just get away from trying to get himself in and break down. It was like I said, it just seemed like he was too much power, too concentrated on the power in the show. That's moving. Then we can move on to Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, um, pretty much what we wanted to see, what he should have done. To what the third fill in for the fight. You know, really he good. Uh, if you want to critique something, you know, better foot movement. Be sharper, be sharper on the feet because the dude he was relaxed. He had a good sweat on him. He was fluent with his punches. Body, beautiful stab jab to the body. As a, did what he was supposed to do. Good performance. Now, this whole I could talk about it right now. I was gonna do it on a separate video, just the whole Shakur and ESPN and treated him right, promoting him, whatever the whole little hot wave is right now. My opinion of that is I said this a little while ago that I didn't like. I said it on the God, who fought just a while ago? Oscar Valdez. I said it on the Oscar Valdez reaction that I didn't like how he won that fight and they're mentioning big fights and for him, blah blah blah, and they never once asked him about his number one rank uh, opponent, challenger, contender, number one ranked contender behind him, Shakur Stevenson. How does he feel about that? I get he's not mandated. He shouldn't fucking worry about him. Cool, that's fine. You're right. But as far as Shakur Stevenson pointing out that ESPN ain't really pumping him hard as Lomachenko and others and Lopez. Top rank ESPN, Shakur Stevenson, top rank ESPN. Your champion just won. Your number one ranked contender is your Olympian, your young badass, Shakur Stevenson. Why wouldn't you be like, hey, champion, you want to fight that young badass, huh? Are you interested in him? That's a big fight for you. Will you take that big fight? They didn't mention it. They didn't say Shakur Stevenson is number one, who should be fighting Oscar Valdez soon. They didn't mention that at all. So that's when I start saying that ESPN is kind of like, why aren't you doing it for Shakur? You could say they have. They put him, the opposition or whatever the word is, the opposition, his opponents was pretty much. See, you can't compare to the Lomachenko bar. You can't compare to out the gates championship. That's where a lot of people. That's what fucks a lot of people up in the boxing nowadays. Lomachenko did it. Everyone can do it. Go back to like maybe your average, where the boxing bar is. I know you figure everyone fights that 15 to 20 warm up fights. You figured that was the norm. And Shakur is at what 12, 13. Competition been what you expect it to be. A silver Olympian is coming out like expectations. Everyone really was talking like, oh, look at the little bitch crying. Look at the little bitch crying. That was the hot thing about Shakur Stevenson. Oh, this kid thought he had it, didn't win it, now he's crying. Boom, he comes out here, looks decent. Oh, he ain't got enough power. He's improving every fight, fucking people up now, looking sharp doing it. His accuracy and his IQ is his power. You know, and him lasting, not getting hit for rounds. Hey, beat you up for 12 rounds. He seems very capable of doing that. Knocking you out like in round 9 with his accuracy, he seems capable of doing that. So I don't see what a big problem is, but yet never once mentioned that. Hey, he's here to fight. He's here to fight, and you can say they pumped him up with the record that he has. They did him right. They got him at what did I say, 12, 13, something like that. No threat of a competition. Got the Olympian, and here he is. Title shot. Close to it, perhaps. Close to it. He's number one. Like I said, you could say he's number one, but we could also point out many other number ones or twos who ain't get shit done or has shit done for them. Now, is he in a position to get a vacated title? Perhaps. If Oscar Valdez, who was saying, I can't get that weight, I can't. I'm having a hard time making this weight. I might even go up to 130. Well, hey, there you go. Vacate title. Shakur Stevenson, get it. Will they make him fight for it? At least he's in. You could say, hey, they put him in a position to fight for a vacant title. They put him in. You could say they didn't promote him. They promoted him to where he's hot, and we're talking about him at number one. You could say that. But it's also, another argument. They and it has to do with Oscar Valdez. It has to do with him. Because the reason why I say that is because Shakur Stevenson's been winning. He has been winning. And I believe he has been calling. Now, before I say this, you could also say a lot of this is Shakur Stevenson's management, because they publicly said Andre Ward is in favor of moving him slow. So you could say, how can ESPN and Top Rank really push him hard when Andre Ward, who was a co-promoter, who knows what Prince is doing, but Andre Ward publicly, kind of a mouthpiece, said he's in favor of seizing him, as he says it. But if Shakur wants to go, no matter what the team says, then hey, they got to go. Now he's number one, and where is all right? So he's number one, and Teofimo is what, number one in the. Where is he at? He's number 4 by the WBC, and what? Number 4 by the IBF, and number 2 by the WBO. Why isn't that fool in the WBA at all? Kind of weird. Usually when someone's left out of the rankings, they're left out of the WBC. WBA don't got Teofimo ranked at all. Crazy. Not that crazy, but just crazy. You know? But anyway, back to Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. How he's saying they promote him better. And the reason we say this is after his fights, his past couple fights, Shakur Stevenson's been saying he wants to fight Josh Warrington. He's been wanting to fight Josh Warrington for like at least 2 or 3 fights. He's been saying that now, and never really uh, made any bark about it. Never really um, put it in Josh Warrington's face. Never brung up. And I get it, Josh Warrington's over there across the pond, but he's also with Frank Warren, who's on that ESPN deal too with Top Rank. You know, they could at least start the promotion, promoters talking on camera about it. They could mention it. You know, if you don't want the fight right away, you could well, you can milk it, drag it along. You know, plant the seed at least. But Teofilo Lopez, they got Lomachenko right there, and they just been, hey, Lomachenko, you want to fight Lopez? I'm like, why? What the fuck does that kid got? He don't even got a belt. Why do I want to fight him? Oh, he's fucking flashy. He has a mouthpiece. He says he could beat you. Oh, he's talk. But hey, Top Rank is putting that shit together. Bob Arum put a tournament. You know, like I get it. Yes, they're both Top Rank fighters, but Top Rank has access to Warrington, and they're not using the bridge. You know, it took Shakur on camera to say it. Like, I've been wanting Warrington. Hey, Frank Warren. Hey, ESPN. You know, Bob Arum, make it happen. I want it. Like he had to finally announce it on camera. Like there's all connections. You know, give it to me. You know, so far as him telling Max Kellerman that the whole promotion and not pumping him, you can understand. Like I said, Lopez right there, and they're talking about a title shot with Lomachenko. Constantly talking about Lopez title shot. Lomachenko, you want to fight him? Blah blah blah. On camera, talking about. You never really hear Shakur Stevenson mentioned on ESPN trying to get a fight with Josh Warrington. Him calling out Josh Warrington. You say, oh, a nice prospect turning into a young contender. Oh, he's a young contender. You don't hear the same. He needs a belt shot. He needs a belt shot. Oh, it will Oscar Valdez fight #1 contender. You know, Lopez ain't even a #1 contender to Lomachenko, but yet they're talking about making him fight. And you got Shakur Stevenson, who is #1, the whole American hoopla behind him, but you don't hear no where's Valdez fighting him. No, you hear ESPN before the fight was even announced, before the winner and Oscar Valdez saying it. ESPN was already talking about Valdez fighting Carl Frampton. The commentators, you know, how good of a fight that'll be. There was no Shakur Stevenson mentioned like in round 8, 9 of that fight, round 10 of that fight. You know, there was, you know, as they start talking about what's next for Valdez, there was no mention of a Shakur Stevenson. But there's always a mention of Lopez and Lomachenko. You guys get the hint. And so went on. That is our little meeting right here at the boxing rehab known as the Double RT Boxing Show. All us boxing junkies. That is my opinion on that subject. You know, ended this nice little video with a Mr.A's thoughts. You know, we did the fight post reactions. Whoa, man! If I wonder if that bird would have flew in my house if the fucking window was open. We did a postcard reaction. You know, finished the card with a Mr.A's thoughts on what Shakur Stevenson, just a kid from Newark, what he had to say about ESPN, calling them out on national TV, give them better competition, make my title fight happen. That whole speak out scene, put him in the right spot, promoting him good, or not give him enough push. I want to say it's just instead of being on the fence, you know, go out with a summit. Like I said, I think they do favor um, using. They put Stevenson in a good spot. They moved him well. As far as promoting him, I don't think they're doing it right. Moving them and promoting them, two different things. Moved them very well. Moved them excellently. Moved them very well. But promoting, like I said, during that Valdez fight, Shakur's name should have been mentioned at least from round 9 on to the final interview, post-fight interview, should have been mentioned at least 5 times, considering ESPN top ranked fighters. Make that number one contender. Make that shit happen. That name should have been mentioned at least 5 times. Knowing that the champion Valdez is struggling to make weight and only has like one more fight left in him, why not talk about your young future potential Hall of Famer? Beat the champ who's gonna fucking move up in weight probably his next fight after why not pass that along to your Terrence Crawford. Who else does Top Rank have? Lomachenko, duh. But top, you got Terrence Crawford, Lomachenko, a really next dominant. They got a lot of players, but Shakur Stevenson looks like he could be a dominant person. Lopez looks like he could be an entertaining boxer. He doesn't look like uh, a generation domination guy. Shakur looks like he could run the table for a while. So why not mention? Um, I don't know. Maybe you think Lopez could run the table. I don't get that impression, but it seems like I said, I favor that they're not pumping. They're not pumping Shakur Stevenson hard. Moving him well, definitely. Pumping him hard. They don't drop his name. They don't drop his number one contender. They not contender ranked guy. They didn't pump him up. He has to. They never press hard on trying to like say, oh yes, we're going to talk to Frank Warren. They have setups. They do the same cards. They could make it happen. ESPN could range fighters at so and so's cards if they could do it. Reaching too far, going with it, going without it. Thank you for your time and support.